Right, what is going on, my friend? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. So, in the most recent YouTube video I uploaded before this one, I did a full day in the life vlog and basically documenting my comeback from my injury. And so, at the end of the video, I asked you guys what you need most support with in your health and fitness. And the most liked comment was actually related to binge eating, right? Now, obviously for me, I personally have not had a binge eating disorder, but I do sympathize with those who, have had it, because I do know what it feels like, of course, when you eat such a large number of calories and foods in a short period of time, and how awful it makes you feel after it, especially if you do it once, twice, and it continuously goes from there. Obviously, we got to understand that when it comes to binge eating, to tackle a problem, we've got to know what causes it, all right? And obviously, when we think of binge eating is usually the result of like going from one extreme to the other. So if we think of what the one extreme of binge eating is, which is obviously overeating, the other extreme is undereating. And so what I usually see with a lot of people is obviously when they go into like an indulgence of binge eating, it's usually been right after a phase of undereating and starving themselves. Particularly, it comes from people who want to lose weight and lose body fat. So what they end up doing is that they go on crash diets, really low calorie diets, like 1,000 calories or something. And then they do like cardio every day, they work out every day, they do ab workouts every day. So they're putting all this stress on their body with very little food and energy and fuel to actually fuel that. Do you know what I mean? So as they're literally constantly beating their body down, battering it down without any recovery or adequate nutrients to fuel themselves, what obviously happens is that they just crash, right? They just go in an indulgence and end up eating a load of food that obviously they were being restricted by before. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, as I told you, going from one extreme to the other, the solution is moderation. It's finding that middle ground. Do you know what I mean? You can actually enjoy and eat the foods and drink the drinks you want to have in your lifestyle while still actually getting results. It's a case of fitting it in to your calories and macronutrients to support your weight loss goal, muscle building goal, whatever it is, by obviously flexible dieting, or if it fits your macros is a common term used in the fitness industry nowadays. So obviously if you look at for example, some of my clients who have a sweet tooth, obviously I'm not going to tell them like, listen up, if you want to lose 20 pounds, you've got to eat chicken, rice and broccoli every day. No, I've done it myself. It's not fun. It makes you miserable. So for those who have a sweet tooth, it's like they can have an ice cream, right? At the end of their day, that's like a few hundred calories if they want, right? As long as, they hit their calories and macronutrients for the day, the same as like they want some Doritos or Oreos, like anything they want, you know what I mean? There's just thoughts coming out of my head. Obviously that works, right? For me personally, it doesn't work as well for me, because if I have too much like little bits of junk food in the week, my acne tends to flare up. So I usually eat very clean in the week, and I have one cheat meal a week where I just have what I want, right? Whether I want to, have some pizza, go out, have some burger and fries at a restaurant, have a Wagamama's, right? Just enjoy myself and reward myself in a way in which, again, I can actually eat healthy and still enjoy those unhealthier foods while enjoying the process and not having to sacrifice the quality of my life. Do you know what I mean? I've been on both extremes of the other, where I've sacrificed eating the foods I love and focusing so much on results. And I can tell you for a fact, by actually having that middle ground of focusing on the results you want in your health and fitness, while also having the moderation of having the foods from time to time you actually want to eat and love, then it's like that's how you sustain it. It's how you actually sustain the results you want to sustain for life, without thinking of going into those extremes or indulges of binge eating and such. Do you know what I mean? And so obviously, as I've spoken about of what causes binge eating, another thing that usually causes binge eating is guilt, right? Because it's like anything, guilt is a negative emotion. If someone, eats, some ice cream or chocolate biscuits, whatever you want, right? Usually it's like if they associate guilt with it, usually what ends up happening is because they put themselves in a more emotionally unstable state, usually their decision making isn't going to be so great, so they're just going to end up eating more and more and more because they associate more guilt with themselves and make themselves feel worse. And obviously what most of us do when we feel bad is that we go to instant pleasures like tasty foods. Do you know what I mean? And so really at the end of the day, you've got to have a system in place where instead of feeling guilty for eating unhealthy foods, you've got to have the system in place like I have, what I told you with like the cheat meal, of rewarding yourself so it actually feels good rather than the other way around, right? I think another thing that helps with obviously avoiding guilt is it takes a bit of practice, but understanding the foods, of course, that we got two types of foods, right? Especially if we look at like the unhealthier, tasteful foods, right? So obviously we got foods that we can control and we can happily stop, right, before overindulging in it. And we've also got the type of foods where we could just go on and on and on, 2,000 calories go by and we're still eating, right? So obviously what you want to do is that you want to, you know, have the ones that you can control and avoid the foods that you can't really control. Do you know what I mean? It's like for me, if I have like a dessert, I can control that because it's just one dessert and once it's gone off my plate, it's gone. If I open a tin of biscuits, right, I kid you not, I probably eat like 10 in a row, right? 1,000 calories go by and I'm not even full. Do you know what I mean? And so obviously the first one is going to satisfy my needs without me feeling absolutely awful and going into a binge eating state, whereas the second one is what's going to cause that binge eating. Do you know what I mean? So again, it's having that middle ground, figuring out what works for you and what doesn't, and avoiding what doesn't work and sticking to what does work. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, as the majority of this video so far has actually been related to unhealthier foods, the thing that's actually really going to tackle binge eating the most and fix it once and for all is actually eating healthier, right? It's a mentality I like to give to clients. It's obviously, we want to eat to live rather than live to eat. From the day-to-day and weekly basis, like if you're eating at least 80% of your total calorie intake from, you know, good quality, highly nutritious whole foods, right? You're going to feel your best self. Like you're going to be eating the foods that are going to give you energy rather than drain your energy. Not to mention as well, obviously, if you're eating for health and eating healthy foods that best serve your body, obviously your workouts are going to be a lot better, so it's going to help you build more muscle. Your metabolism is going to be higher, which is going to help you lose more fat. Your stress is going to be lower. Your sleep quality is going to be higher. So overall, the quality of a life is actually going to be significantly higher, which is obviously what we're after. Do you know what I mean? And once again, like when you eat for health, like eating unhealthier food from time to time isn't actually going to feel that bad, because it's not going to feel bad at all, because you've actually earned it, you've rewarded it. And it's like, because you're eating good throughout the week, it's no big deal, because you're not going to lose any progress, because, you know, the 95% of the other times you're on track with your goals. So again, you can eat the unhealthier food you want without being attached to like, will I be on track with that, because you are on track. Now the last point I actually wanted to cover, which I think is arguably one of the most important ones to understand, is obviously mentally understanding that it's okay to mess up, right? We're human beings, right? We're not perfect. We're gonna mess up from time to time. I mess up from time to time. You know, as I told you, if it's like 1 or 2 times in a week where I eat unhealthier, sometimes I may just be in states where I feel like, oh, I can eat this and I'll be fine, and then like one thing goes down and another, and the next thing you know, it's like, wow, you feel like you're gonna go in a food coma because you've eaten so much, and the next morning you feel absolutely awful, and then you beat yourself down and all of that. It's okay, right? Learn from it. It's happened, right? We can't change it, right? Just learn from it, and instead of being guilty, just accept what's happened and just move on, right? If it's just happened once, don't make it happen again. Just move on and just keep moving forward. I think one thing as well that may actually help if you do struggle with binge eating is actually reading or listening to The Power of Now. It's actually one of the books there in my bookshelf. I can't pronounce the author's name, I'm so sorry. It's an absolutely amazing book for just life in general, just being present, because especially in this application of binge eating, I mean, if you're present in the moment, you can't be guilty. And if you can't be guilty, you're completely free from all of the negative emotions that you associate yourself with if you feel guilty for binge eating and all of that, right? Again, if you're present in now, you can't really feel any negative emotions. You can only really feel positive when you embrace the present moment. And that doesn't just apply in diet and nutrition, it applies to all areas of life. So I'll actually leave a link in the description below. If you haven't actually read it, again, it's a book that's really changed my life and helped me in all areas of my life, and it's something that I feel will certainly benefit you as well. So yeah, I feel that's everything covered. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video came at value to you. And of course, if you do need more support in your health and fitness in terms of transforming your body while enjoying life without having to sacrifice the quality of your life, of course, I do provide one-on-one online fitness coaching, which I'll link in the description below, as well as my monthly home programs. or if you do just want to contact me, my social links are below as well, my Instagram, my Facebook, my email. A lot of people think that just because I got some subscribers on YouTube, think that, you know, I've got a barrier to entry in terms of who can message me. Like, you can message or email however you like. I'm just a normal person, right? There's no barriers to entry. You can talk to me whenever you want. So yeah, again, if you like this video, make sure to give this video a cheeky thumbs up, and also comment down below, as obviously this video was, you know, inspired by you guys with your ideas in the previous video. Let me know what you want to see next and what you need support with in your health fitness, because again, I'm here to help you transform your body and ultimately live your best life. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe now. You're gonna miss out on some serious gains, my friend. For real. Hop on board the Gains Express, and thank you so much for watching. Once again, thank you for your time. I really appreciate your support, and keep moving forward. I'll see you in the next video.